Saint Augustine, Saint Thomas Aquinas, Saint Ambrose of Milan. You might have heard of these guys or maybe know quite a bit about them yourself. But what did they have to say about dead people? I don't mean spiritually dead, I mean dead. Saint Augustine of Hippo said, "We do not regard the bodies of the dead as of no importance. For if they were not of importance, the care of them would not be so strongly recommended in the scriptures." Thomas Aquinas, my favorite bookworm, said, "The human body, even after death, retains its dignity because it was the temple of the Holy Spirit." Saint Ambrose of Milan made quite the fashionable statement whenever he said, "The bodies of the faithful are not to be cast aside, for they are entrusted to the earth as to a mother." So what does this mean for us as Christians living in the 21st century, considering men like Augustine and Saint Ambrose lived in the 300s AD? Thomas Aquinas lived in the 1200s. It actually means quite a lot. Being able to read insight from theologians and men who lived closer to the time of Christ than us and helped lay the foundations for the church we know and love today teach us a very valuable lesson. When it comes to respect for the deceased, we've not progressed as a society, but we've actually regressed. We live in a time when our government has mandated that when our loved ones die, hospitals have to call organ harvesters. Those organ harvesters then contact grieving families to try and pressure them for a donation. As God-fearing Christians, how can we stand by and say that a practice like that is okay? Our church fathers were clear as day that in death, the human body remains a temple of the Holy Spirit and it maintains its full importance. And it just feels like we don't have a standard for mourning. We're no longer a nation under God, but a nation under the almighty dollar, and will even violate grieving families to try and make an extra buck. Brothers and sisters of Christ, as sons and daughters of God, we can't stand by as these rights are being abused. I'm calling on my Christian brothers and sisters to talk about this issue, to shed light to the fact that grieving families should not be contacted in their mourning when their loved one was not an organ donor. Let's listen to the church fathers. Respect people when they want their bodies to go back into the earth whole. Not that there's anything wrong with organ donation, but on this topic, no means no.